You are 7 years old, and your bed is a pile of soot. Not swept soot, not clean straw, the actual black dust that falls from chimneys. That's your blanket tonight, because it's warm and because nothing else is offered to you. Your knees are scabbed, your elbows are raw, and somewhere above you, through a cracked attic window, London is already going quiet. You have 4 hours to sleep before it starts again. It's 1853, and you belong to a master sweep named Mr. Higgins. Not your father, not your family, just the man who paid your parish £3 for you 2 years ago. You don't remember signing anything. You were 5. Someone else signed for you. Your job has a name, climbing boy. Your body is small enough to fit inside a chimney flue 9 inches wide, and that is the only reason you have work at all. 6 other boys sleep in this attic with you. You can hear them breathing in the dark, some snoring, one coughing, the way he always coughs, deep and wet, from a chest that never fully clears. There's no fire up here, no blanket thick enough to matter. You curl into the soot pile because it holds a little heat left over from the day, and you've learned that's better than nothing. Somewhere below, Mr. Higgins is still awake, counting coins from today's houses. You are one of them. The boy next to you, Tom, 10 years old, older than you by 3, has been coughing for 6 weeks. Soot doesn't just sit on the skin, it gets breathed in, day after day, climb after climb, until it settles somewhere deep and doesn't leave. Chimney sweeps call it soot wart when it shows up later, on the skin, in places no one wants to talk about. Most boys don't live long enough to see it. Tonight, Tom just coughs. You've learned not to ask if he's all right. There's nothing either of you can do about it. Somewhere near 4 in the morning, Mr. Higgins bangs on the attic hatch with a stick. No lantern, no warning, just the bang and the voice underneath it.
Up, up!
And 6 boys pulling themselves out of soot and cold in total darkness. You don't wash. There's no water set aside for that. You pull on the same shirt from yesterday, still black at the collar, still stiff with old sweat, and you climb down the ladder toward the kitchen. Breakfast, if you can call it that, is a heel of yesterday's bread and whatever's left in the pot from the night before. Sometimes a scrape of dripping, sometimes nothing. You eat standing up, because sitting wastes time Mr. Higgins doesn't want to pay for. By the time the sky outside is turning gray, you're already walking. Brush over one shoulder, scraper in your belt, following Mr. Higgins toward the wealthy end of the street, where the chimneys are wider at the top and narrower than a barrel at the bottom. The first house belongs to a merchant. His cook lets you in through the servant's door without looking at your face, and Mr. Higgins gives you the order you've heard 1,000 times. Up you go. The flue is dark the second your head passes the damper. No light, no sound but your own breathing and the scrape of your knees against brick still warm from last night's fire. This is the part most people never picture. The chimney narrows as you climb, some flues no wider than your own shoulders, and you press your elbows and knees against the brick to push yourself up, inch by inch, in total blackness. Soot falls into your eyes, into your mouth. You've learned to breathe through your nose in short, careful pulls, because if you panic and gasp, it fills your throat. Boys have gotten stuck in these walls. Boys have suffocated in these walls. You know this because Mr. Higgins has told you, not to warn you, to remind you not to slow down. When your head finally breaks into open air at the chimney pot, London spreads out below you. Rooftops, smoke, the whole gray city waking up. For 1 second, it's almost beautiful. Then Mr. Higgins shouts from the ground for you to hurry, and you're already climbing back down, scraper in hand, knocking loose the crust of creosote and soot that built up all winter, letting it rain down into the hearth below. 6, sometimes 8 chimneys in a single morning, each one a little different. Some straight and simple, some bent at sharp angles that scrape the skin off your back if you're not careful. By midday, your knees are bleeding fresh through old scabs. Mr. Higgins doesn't stop for it. There's no time, and there's no doctor waiting even if there were. This was the actual math of the trade. A master sweep needed small, thin children, and the children who survived the work simply grew too large to keep climbing. By afternoon, the city smells like 1,000 fires, and so do you. Soot in your hair, under your nails, worked so deep into your skin that no amount of scrubbing, not that there's time for scrubbing, will get it out. You've earned Mr. Higgins a good day's coin. You haven't earned yourself anything, except tomorrow. There's a rumor among the older boys that somewhere people are trying to pass a law to stop all this, to say boys your age shouldn't be sent up chimneys at all. You've heard it before. Nothing has changed yet. At the 5th house today, you feel it happened to someone else, not you. A shout from inside a chimney 2 doors down, where another sweeps boy has wedged himself into a bend too tight to move. Men gather. Someone calls for brick to be pulled from the wall. It takes almost an hour to get him free, and when they do, he isn't moving right. This is not a story you were told to frighten you. This is Tuesday. You go back to work an hour later because the next chimney is already waiting, and there's no version of this day where you simply stop. By the time the light fails, you've climbed 9 chimneys. Dinner is thinner than breakfast. A watery broth if Mr. Higgins is in a generous mood, dry bread if he isn't. You eat it sitting on the floor of the same kitchen you left before dawn, too tired to notice how it tastes. Your body has stopped fighting the exhaustion. It's just a weight now, something you carry back up the ladder to the attic, one rung at a time. Tonight, you'll fall onto that same pile of soot, and it will feel, in a strange and terrible way, like relief. Tomorrow you'll do this again, and the day after that, until either you grow too tall for the flues or your lungs give out first, whichever comes sooner. Think about your own morning today, the shower, the warm bed, the choice of what to eat. None of that existed for a 7-year-old boy climbing into darkness for a stranger's coin. His whole world was 9 inches wide and lasted until his body couldn't do it anymore. Somewhere in London tonight, in an attic with no fire, a boy is falling asleep in soot instead of a bed, and in the morning, he'll climb into the dark again because no one has told him there's any other way to live.